hat. So we have an Alayla flash deck here. Let's duplicate this list. Sort by mana value. The game plan is confused. It was just flash, slop, and Dimir good stuff. I've had it for a long time since I commissioned custom art of the commander as an altar, and I hate to completely take it apart. But I'd like to take the deck in an interesting direction that you think is more interesting because the commander is doing good things and it's not really a deck I reach for anymore. Okay. So we have Nimrus, we have all the flash stuff. We have Slither Wisp. I'm just trying to think of some fun stuff to do with flash. For starters, didn't we get a better stunt double in Aether Drift? Clone. Wax and Shape Thief. So, yeah, and this is a copy of a target artifact or creature you control. Ah, but this can do anything. I see. So that's less interesting because it's only you control. Scarab God kind of feels like it's here. I get you can activate his ability instead of casting a flash threat. Toxrill's kind of just here. So, first spell during each opponent's turn. I see, and you make like copies of. That's really funny. Virtue Persistence is pretty expensive. I mean, you certainly have a good list going. It's just finding something interesting to do with once a turn casts. I will request to tell me if the altar is cute or cringe. Yeah, absolutely. Link it or DM it to me or something. I'm pretty sure my Discord, you can DM it to me. But I'm just trying to think of something unique to do with whenever you cast your first spell each turn. Let's look for this first. Whenever you cast your first spell during each opponent's turn, look at the top card of the library, then exile face down. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Sure. Yeah, Jace is an interesting idea. Wait. But yeah, what if you do so Perplex. Perplex high. Counter target spell unless its controller discards a card. Arcane Laboratory. This is rule of law. Each player can't play more than one spell each turn. And then you hit it with a Jin Gitaxias Progress Tyrant. So, whenever an opponent casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, counter that spell. They can only do one spell a turn. Their first one's countered. You don't care about the rule of law because you cast a spell every turn. Yeah, and then you can run Teferi. Teferi, Mage of Zalfir, gives everything flash, but also stops your opponents from casting at instant speed, which makes Jhin harder of a lock. The reason is Jhin Gataxias, you can cast an instant on an opponent's turn, and then that opponent's now free to cast a spell for that turn. Right, he only counters the first spell, regardless of what opponent plays it. So I think this is a lot more of like a cute, bespoke angle for this deck, where all these are strong cards by themselves, but together they make a disgusting lock, and you now have a tutor for the Arcane Laboratory, so you basically run 2 of this effect. That's sick in a good way. Happy to hear. Okay, so I'm glad we cracked the case on what interesting thing to do here to make Flash a little more funny. So I think we're going to maybe make your removal a little bit more weird here. And the reason is, what does Decree of Silence say? Whenever an opponent casts a spell, counter that spell and then put a depletion counter on this. Oh, we need to remove counters from this, or Solemnity. I see. For some reason, I thought it started with counters and then it take counters off of itself. I was like, you can proliferate this thing, but also it's just like not the best for the strat. We do have Jace that we could proliferate. That is a thought. O-tag, polymorph, cost X. I thought we could, whatever. There's only 10 polymorphs anyway. Because I think there might be a fun angle where you like turn your tokens into shit. But it's only if there's like an X. Exile all creatures you control at the beginning of the next end step. Reveal cards on top of your library until you reveal that many creature cards, and put all creature cards revealed this way onto the battlefield, then shuffle the rest. Because you have a commander that makes a fuck ton of tokens. And then you just go 6 mana. And you just shit like an entire board into play from nowhere. I think C-Dash was a little underwhelming. All right, let's play test. Draw. Mystic Sanctuary tapped. Next turn. Just like X's 3 Toxic Deluge. Set up for Layla. Pass. The fairy. Oh my gosh, make a fairy. Polluted Delta, get Watergrave. 1, 2, Sig, hit, same opponent twice. Go 2 of your creatures. Oh, an opponent lost 3 more life this turn. 1, 2, 3. Counter your spell, draw a card, make a fairy. Visions of Beyond has felt a little lackluster. Okay. Maybe Visions comes out. Midnight Clock. I'm fine with the amount of ramp you have. It makes sense. So I think maybe what we want to do, we have 2 slots available. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like other interesting additions. You can do Bowmaster stuff, I guess. I just think Bowmasters would kind of already be in if it was like within the budget and the power level. Oh no, that's cute. Yeah, this is the Alayla alt art. That's cute. That got altered. Okay, so 2 more slots to play with. What are we thinking of here? Oh, we need Glenelendra. Glenelendra Archmage. Right, this works well with the Arcane Laboratory. How do we break the persist? That is my next question. What does Una's Trickster say? Or Una's Blackguard. Whenever a creature you control with a counter on it deals combat damage player, each other rogue control enters with a counter on it. So not each other fairy, which is sad. So we have Glenelendra Archmage, Arcane Laboratory, Teferi, Jin. There needs to be a way to, like, within theme, put counters on this lady. Or, like, rebuy her. Or etc. Maybe we do a Cypher spell. We do, you do O Cypher. Micaeus. Micaeus is too involved. I think a Writ of Return is the answer. You just literally fairly use, in quotation marks, fairly use Glenelendra Archmage twice, and then you can attack with a 1/1 fairy that you have Writ of Return on. The Archlich. A Sararak? What about a Sararak? So yeah, you just put this on any of your flyers and hit someone, and then your Glenelendra Archmage is back. Okay, normally I'm not a 3 trees believer, but I think this is a 3 tree city deck. I normally do not like this card. Let's cut Darkwater Catacombs. Once again, normally do not like 3 tree city at all, but we have Sync with Selende. Not Kyrie. Okay. Let's play test. Okay, this is in Synthetic Destiny hand. There we go. Draw land. Next turn. Fabled Passage. Get a swamp. Yay, Ristic Study. Alayla. Snap. Make a fairy. Consider. Make a fairy. Kill your creature. Make a fairy. One, two, three, four, five, six. Well, you hit everyone and goad all their shit. And then you tap 6, and then you Synthetic Destiny. Exile all creatures you control. And now we're moving to our next end step. We reveal cards until we reveal 4 creatures. 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4. Shuffle the rest in your life. Stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's Jin-Gitaxias, lol. 1, 2. Land, get island. I think we need a wizard cycler. Simple reason is we've added Teferi, wizard. We've added we can get High Fate Trickster. And then lastly, there's a Glenelender Archmage. So we have 3 really insane wizards that are like kind of linchpins of the deck. And so being able to grab any of these is kind of ideal. Maybe Feed the Swarm out. Besides, Feed the Swarm out should be out for the stupid Duskworm one anyway. Withering Torment. Can I be honest? I'm gonna cut Rhystic Study and Mystic Remora. Like, I find them to be really boring. I don't know. I'm sorry. They're strong cards. They're just kind of generic, and they push all the fun out of the deck. Forgive me. So that gives us some more room. I just don't know what else to add here. Maybe like a Nesting Grounds to cheat with Glenelendra Archmage. You can maybe also run Glenelendra Guardian. Maybe use like a Flicker Thassa to reset them. We just don't have a lot of other ETBs is all. Draw. Hand Tower. Next turn. Island. 1, 2. Mindstone. Turn. Swamp. Commander. Next turn. Alright, you go 1, 2, 3. Lobelia. Get a fairy. 1, 2. Cyclonic Rift. Your thing. Get another fairy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of these get exiled, and then at our end step, we get 4 creatures. Because we're casting Synthetic Destiny. Slitherwisp, Urtai, Enduring Curiosity, and Nimrus. Like, that feels pretty good. Great. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dink. Hit you with Nimrus, draw a card. Next turn. Rivendell, 1, 2, 3. Arcane Laboratory, pass. 1, 2, 3. Cast this during your turn, you get a Nimrus trigger, a Layla trigger. And then next turn after that, you get to counterspell whatever they're doing, and you fucking Arcane Laboratory. They can't cast more spell. I'm not gonna be able to do it in 20 minutes. I'm afraid, Ulyssean. We're gonna be wrapping this one up here relatively. But I want to pick a Crafty Cut Purse. I think Crafty Cut Purse does suck. That's the one that steals tokens, right? If this was 3 mana, you could get so close. But still, I think this rule of law makes this so much funnier of a deck. You can get a little more counter magic-y with it, maybe. Like, instead of how Resculpt is, like, kind of just fine, though. I also like that it gives a creature that you're able to goad. Here, I'm gonna look at this other deck. The only difference with this other deck is that it was in white. Yeah, this one. The joke here is that you use Gift of Immortality with Glenelender Archmage. Of which is not in the deck right now. I suppose it is. I was wondering why you put Counterspell in decks without budget restrictions instead of Mana Drain, just not the vibe like Ristic. Like, I don't know. If you wanted to play with Mana Drain in your deck, you would probably already have it in your list. Just saying. At the end of the day, saying, oh, you can run Mana Drain in this deck. Like, what does Mana Drain synergize with? I'm trying to focus in on synergies, not just like, here's the most blanket generic cards that can make your deck just generically better. Oh, I see that you're not running, like, you know, whatever. It's like, it's splitting hairs at that point. I'm trying to reveal actually like cool synergies, not go like, oh, Counterspell? That should be that should be a Mana Drain. If we're being optimal here, it's like, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Not worth talking about. Intriguing. So this deck is mostly white. And is also just not the right version, I'm pretty sure. Where's the correct version then? Linvala Flash. Okay, I was looking at the wrong version of the deck. This is the correct version of the deck. And once again, it is a little awkward because a lot of the things that make Glenelender Archmage work here is the fact that this is a Gift of Immortality deck. Where it's like the white cards. Yeah, bummer. So maybe there's a card that's like enters graveyard counter. There's like Thran Vigil, but I don't know. We don't have a lot of things that like enter from the graveyard. Or that leave the graveyard, you know, for Thran Vigil to trigger all that often. Because, like, this is way too narrow, right? The Thran Vigil. Whatever it's called. Whenever one or more artifact and your creature cards leave your graveyard during your turn, you put it during your turn. Ew, they thought about Glenelender Archmage. O:" +1/+1 counter. Type fairy. There you go. Whenever one or more fairies you attack, draw a card, then discard a card. When you discard a card this way, put a counter on a fairy you control. What fairy you control? The Glenelendra Archmage you control that already has a counter on it. It also is a 3-mana fairy that you can curve into a Layla. Okay, that works. That's fine. Prof's Eidetic Memory. We have to draw a card on our first free combat main phase, though, which is a little bit hard. That makes it a little awkward. Okay, so we go draw. 4 room. Next turn. Man Tower. 2 mana Dimir Signet. Island 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's Layla. Next turn. 1, 2. Add a counter. Play this as well. Pass. 1, 2, 3. Wait! Chat, this is so funny. Okay, let's pretend that this is Jin. Or is Arcane Laboratory, whatever. So, hear me out. You go like flash out Urtai. Next turn. 1, 2, let's go 1 turnover. 1, 2, 3. Moonlit Meditation onto Urtai. So now whenever you make 1 or more tokens, they're going to be copies of Urtai. And then you go 1, 2, 3, Frantic Search on an opponent's turn. 1, 2, 3, draw 2, and then discard 2. Right? So now all of these are counter spells. 1, 2, 3. Now people can only cast 1 spell every turn. So now what happens is you go, they cast a spell you don't like. You go 1 in a blue. Here, I'll snap your fucking thing back to your hand. Untap these 2, make a token copy of Urtai that dies to legend rule, but then I bounce your fucking thing. And I bounce your spell that I don't like, and you don't get to recast it. And you don't get to recast it. Because we're making token copies of Urtai. Oh, you played something I don't like. Bounce the other thing I don't like. Bounce that other spell back to your hand. Also, you don't get to counter it. Oh, great. Damage you with the fairy. 6 mana Prowl. I make 2 fairies. And I take an extra turn. Combat. Go to all your shits. Here, you cast a spell I didn't like. You're trying to remove my Urtai machine. Nope, resculpt, bounce that thing back to your hand, whatever. And then this gets even more disgusting with the 5 mana Teferi. And of course, you can also, like, you know, make copies of Glenelendra Archmage. And then that gets disgusting really quickly. Type fairy. O enters. O counter. Oh, there's spell stutter sprite, right? Yeah, run spell stutter. Every time I cast a spell, I get to, like, tick up my spell stutter sprite count until you have, like, 8 spell stutter sprites. No, that's funny as fuck. I have a thought on the mana drain argument. Sorry if it's late. I was washing dishes. Isn't mana drain only better in effects that want a much fuckload of mana for blue X spells? No, it's still just counterspell. Literally, everything about it is better than counterspell, factually, even if you only cast one thing with, like, one of the manas. Would making copies of Cloud of Fairies be too good? Well, you only make 1 Cloud of Fairies every turn. The answer is no, it wouldn't be too good. In fact, it's rather bad, because you always want to put it on the Urtai, right? These are both 3 mana, too. So either of them can get tutored by Perplex. That's so funny. Okay, yeah, no, this deck's cooking now. I've officially, the switch has flipped in my brain where I'm like, this is exciting as fuck. I think we're gonna cut some of the more high mana value things. Okay, maybe Synthetic Destiny, like, it's a funny idea. You can consider it. It's not necessary, though. and then I'll just drop this in chat. I think it's good to go. Like, I think we cooked here. Deck of the day for sure. Anyway, I am starving to death. I am so hungry. Thank you so much for getting a deck review, Evening Hat. Hopefully this made you a little bit more excited to play this deck by making it more evil with the rule of law and all that. Great. That's it.